Education is not the learning of fact, but the training of the mind to think. With the small motivational quote by Albert Einstein, I welcome you all back to the edition of video in which we are going to cover Chapter 6, Part 1, Plant Tissues. Tissues and its type. A tissue is a group of cells which performs similar kind of functions. The tissues can be classified into plant tissues and animal tissues. So this is a small mind map of plant tissues. So plant tissues are divided into meristematic tissues and permanent tissues, where meristematic tissues are divided into apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. On the other hand, permanent tissues are divided into simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues are divided into parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma, and complex permanent tissues are divided into xylem and phloem. Xylem is divided into tracheids, vessel, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers, whereas phloem is divided into sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fiber. Meristematic tissues. So meristematic tissues are divided into three parts: apical meristem, lateral meristem, and intercalary meristem. Apical meristem. These tissues are present at the tip of the plant and helps in the growth of the plant. Intercalary meristem. These tissues are present between the nodes and help in the growth of the branches. Lateral meristem. These tissues are present in the bark of the plant and increases the diameter of a plant vertically. So this is a small diagram of all the three meristem, because diagram help us to memorize anything in a very better way. So here we can see here is apical meristem. So means it has a tip, so it's help in the growth of the plant. Then we have intercalary meristem. You can see it present in the at the nodes. So node is generally a place from where a branch grows. So which means it helps in the growth of the branches. And you can see here the lateral meristem, and it increases the diameter of the plant vertically. Means it's present at the bark. Permanent tissues. There are two types of permanent tissues, as we saw in mind map: simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues are categorized into three. Parenchyma. These type of tissues are composed of living cells and have intercellular space and also have thin cell walls. There are two types of parenchyma tissues: chlorenchyma and arenchyma. Basically, the chlorenchyma is formed when the chlorophyll and parenchyma mix with each other. So chlorophyll helps in photosynthesis. So chlorenchyma tissues help in the process of photosynthesis, and arenchyma tissues are present in water plants, which helps the plant to float on the water. Collenchyma. These tissues are composed of living cells and provide flexibility to the plant. The cell walls are thicker than the parenchyma cells and are made up of cellulose. So this is a very simple tissue. It provides flexibility, and when you saw when wind comes, the plant bend like this and then again stand. It is just because of the collenchyma tissues. Then we have sclerenchyma. These tissues are made up of dead cells and make the plant hard and stiff. These cells cellulose and lignin. So sclerenchyma, a common example is a husk of coconut. So means you have to remember that parenchyma and collenchyma is made up of living cells and sclerenchyma is made up of dead cells. So this is a small picture and a diagram to revise parenchyma tissues, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. As I have told you before, a diagram helps us to memorize us in a very better way. Now we come to complex permanent tissues. So complex permanent tissues are further divided into two, which are xylem and phloem. Xylem. Xylem are the vascular tissues which transport water and minerals from roots to the other parts of the plant. So basically, the xylem transfer from roots to the other plants or other parts of the plant. It's only a one directional. It's not bi-directional. So these are further divided into four parts: tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. Phloem. Phloem is also a vascular tissue which transports food from leaves to other parts of the plant or vice versa. Means what xylem is, it provides water and mineral from the roots to the other plant. But what phloem is doing, it provide food from leaves to the other part of the plant or from other part of the plant to leaves as well. So these are also divided into four parts, that are sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. So now we have some special types of tissues. So there are also three types of special tissues. The first is epidermis. This is the outermost protective covering of a cell which has thick waxy coating of cuticle. It has a chemical substance known as cutin which prevent plant from mechanical injury and water loss. So epidermis cells, you can say that it's present at the bark of the tissue because it's the outermost covering and it helps the plant from water loss and the mechanical injuries too. Stomata. Stomata are the pores present on the surface of the leaves which helps in the exchange of gases and transpiration. These are enclosed by a bead-shaped cell known as guard cells. So we are studying stomata since class 6, that it has guard cells and all, and it's present at the and it's a pore on the leaf, and it helps in the exchange of gases and transpiration. We have to remember the function of it, that it's help in the exchange of gases and transpiration, and the transpiration is the evaporation of the excess amount of water from the plant is known as transpiration. Then we have cork. Cork is composed of dead cells which are compactly packed. It has a chemical substance known as suberin, which don't allow the exchange of gases and water. So this cork is really very important, and it's very important to remember the name of the chemical substance, that's suberin. It is asked in most of the exam papers. And thanks for watching our video till the end. We will cover animal tissues in our next video. Stay tuned. Happy learning.